Welcome to r/EntitledParents, where this entitled mum sends her kid into a restaurant to steal food off paying customers' plates. Entitled mother sends her kid to eat off my plates. So, my partner and I were out to eat at an Italian restaurant over the weekend. It was going great, except we were seated right by the door, so whenever someone came in, the cold breeze would hit you. This is just important so you know we were the closest table to the door. Anyway, our pizzas came and we were tucking in. They came uncut, so I was using a knife and fork to cut slices. Suddenly, there's a cool breeze, then a child next to me, and he, without saying a word, sticks his grubby hands onto my plate and takes a slice of pizza. The child was about 12 to 13 years old. I had zero idea what to do except say, "What do you think you're doing?" "My mum said I'm allowed." Suddenly, the breeze hits us again as the door opens. "Jonathan, what's going on? Did you get your pizza?" I turned in my seat to the woman, thinking the child must have just been confused and thought the pizza I was eating was his or something. I told the woman something along the lines of, "Sorry, your child has just stuck his hands in my pizza and taken a slice." I expected her to apologize or be super embarrassed, etc. But heck no. She just said something like, "Yeah, he's a child. He likes pizza. It's manners to share." I was floored. Like, what? So I said he shouldn't just grab food from other people or walk into a restaurant and steal food. What he did is stealing food. She was livid and said it's not stealing, it's sharing. At this stage, she was pretty close to yelling. A waiter came over and asked them if they'd like a table for two, but she doubled down. "No, this man called my son a thief. All he wanted was some pizza, and now he's upset." Cue the child crying. Oh, and also, neither of them were wearing a mask. Why doesn't that surprise me? The waiter said, "If you aren't dining with us, you're gonna have to leave." And she loses it, screaming about discrimination against unvaccinated people. She did eventually leave, and both my partner and I got our pizzas remade and a bottle of house wine for free. So, not very exciting, but imagine the parenting that's going on if a mother is sending her child in to eat off other people's plates. I feel I should also add that while they could have been starving, they were reasonably well dressed, so it didn't cross my mind at the time. And look guys, maybe this family was in a little bit of trouble and, they didn't have any money or they had no way of getting food, but it doesn't seem like it, does it really? I'm going off of OP's assumptions here. It seems like this mum didn't really care. I'm just like, no, stealing food is sharing. Come on, give us some of your pizza, pal. It's very strange, that's for sure. And OP is also completely right. Like, this is actually stealing. That's illegal. You can't just steal people's stuff that they've paid for. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it might only be like a slice of pizza or whatever, but it's still stealing. It's insane. Like, if that's sharing and not stealing, fine. Give me some of your jewelry. Let's share that. Give me your house. We'll share your gaff as well. Like, come on. This woman's logic is ridiculous. Let's move on. Now moving on to our second Entitled Parents post. Entitled Mum questions why I'm acting weird, then harasses me and demands my wallet for her baby when I tell her I have ASD. I'm sitting on my bed fuming because I remembered this from a couple of months ago, and I just had to share it. Backstory time. I have ASD. For those of you that don't know, ASD means that OP is on the autism spectrum. So, I tend to act weird under stress, but anyone who knows me understands it's normal. It was late September when this happened, so the story isn't quite fresh out of the oven. Now for the story. I'm walking to my bus stop because I just finished school for the day when I spot a mother waiting by the stop and her little kid, about 9 or 10 years old, looking at me. I think nothing of it and I stand by the bus stop waiting for the bus. A few minutes go by and I go on my phone because the bus is taking forever. Now, normally, whenever I'm waiting for a while, I shake one of my hands just to keep myself from being still. So while I'm waiting, I'm playing Candy Crush with my right hand and shaking my left hand. I hear the little kid walk towards me, so I lift my head up so he knows I'm paying attention. Here is the exchange. "Hi. Hello, do you need something? Why are you doing that?" For a second, I didn't register what he said, but then I got what he was referring to. "Oh, I usually do this when I'm waiting for something and it's taking a while. Sort of something to keep my mind off waiting, you know?" Oh. I see the kid go back to his mum and I go back to what I was doing. I catch a bit of the convo from the mum and the kid, but I try not to eavesdrop. but they were talking a little loudly, so it was pretty much impossible. Did you ask him why he's doing that with his hand? I overheard. Yeah, he says it's just a pastime. I'm kind of shocked he knew what pastime even meant. He doesn't have to do that. I'll go and talk to him. Keep in mind I could hear this, so I knew I was about to be ridiculed by her. She walks up to me and she starts to say something, but I turn away from her because I've seen enough stories to know where this is going. She didn't like this one bit. You, look at me, now. Kind of an overreactive response, wouldn't you agree? Yes, I would. What? My son told me you shake your hand when you wait? When I'm under stress, also. My hand was still shaking, just so you know. Well, stop it. I don't do that when I'm stressed, so why should you? Both me and the kid look at this entitled mum in dumbfoundment. Excuse me? You heard what I said. You're putting a bad image on my son. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? I said in my head. I begin to explain, now slightly annoyed. I have ASD, Mom, so if you'd please leave me alone, I would appreciate it. At this point, people are watching us. Oh, I'm so tired of people saying that autism is a real disease. It's from the vaccine. Everyone knows that. I am both fuming with anger and in awe of how mentally unstable this person is. No, autism is a... She cuts me off so abruptly, I step back a bit. I bet you don't even have ASD. I bet you're just faking it to get your way. This is the point I snapped. I pull up an article on the news that has a bunch of kids, including me, with autism sharing our experience of ASD. I then pull out my ID card showing I am indeed one of the faces of World Autism Day. If you didn't know, it's April 4th. See any similarities, you female dog? The entitled mum turns ghost white. Then she shakes it off by shoving me on the ground. I bruise my hand and scrape my leg on the pavement. What the heck was that for? What she says next will never leave my brain. You're disabled, so I can do whatever I want to you. Give me your wallet, you disabled freak. Karma incoming. At this point, one of the guys who was watching this all happens intervenes. Mom, what is your problem? My problem? He was assaulting me and trying to get my purse. I'm gonna stop you right there. He pulls out his phone, which had a video of her clearly harassing me and shoving me on the ground. Unless you want this to go to the police, I suggest you stop. You photoshopped that. That's not me. I say to the nice guy, thanks. He then turns to help me up. No problem. I hate people like her. The entitled mum then charges at me and drills her arm into my stomach. This time, I went flying into a shrub, so it didn't hurt that much on impact, but dang, it hurt bad. I didn't retain any injuries, luckily. Okay, that's it. I'm calling the police, said the guy. What? But I did nothing wrong. At this point, I am visibly bleeding from a cut on my face. Oh, really? Then how did this happen then? The entitled mum turns even whiter than before. She tries to run off with her kid, who is sitting there in shock, but several people quickly grabbed her and kept her in place. The police arrive, and the nice guy told them what happened and showed them the video. They arrested the woman for assault and theft. I didn't realize it, but the woman had actually knocked my wallet out of my grasp and tried to run off with it. They asked if I wanted to press charges, and I said no. But the nice guy asked if he could, because he could see that I wasn't in the mood for it. After that, I got no word from anyone involved, which I'm more than okay with. I just wish this didn't happen to me at all. OP, please, for me, press charges, because I want to see this woman have some justice put upon her. That's ridiculous. What's amazing as well is that she's actually said to her kid, like, go over and ask what's going on there. Like, her kid doesn't even care. It's insane. It really is. However, little question to you lot watching. How real do you think this story is? Because look, it's up for debate, this one, I'm not going to lie. It does read slightly like a little fanfic. But I thought it was a fun story, so I read it anyway. But comment down below, what percentage would you give this as being a real story? What percentage would you give this of being a real story? 100% is completely real. 0% is, you know, didn't happen, none of it's true at all, completely made up. 75%, let's say, is it did happen, but it's been exaggerated. And 25% is this person has autism, but this story never happened. I want to hear your thoughts. For me, I'll go 55. I'll give OP the benefit of the doubt. I think parts of this definitely were exaggerated. But hey, if they weren't and I'm, you know, going too far there, then please press charges, whatever you do. Even if it's a fake story, press charges, innit? Come on, that's ridiculous. The thing is with these stories, right, I would You probably can't do it for privacy reasons, but I would just love to see like the videos attached. You know, people sometimes post images of things that were involved in a story, or, you know, their animals, for example, like dog tags and stuff. I would love to actually see the video that this guy took. Because if you have that video and you link it here, then it obviously happened, right? Can't, you know, even dispute that. But without the video, some of this stuff does sound a little bit far-fetched, is all I'll say. But listen, it's up for debate. Comment down below, guys. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/EntitledParents. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more from me right away from the same subreddit, check out this video on screen. I mean, look how long it is. You're going to absolutely love it. Trust me. It's one of my favorite videos and I made it. So, you know, how humble am I? If you're new to the channel, subscribe and I'll see you guys all later on with a brand new video.